Bee societies, especially in species like honeybees and bumblebees, are fascinating examples of complex social structures in the insect world. These societies are divided into three main roles: the queen, the males, drones, and the workers. Each group has distinct functions essential for the survival and prosperity of the colony. Queen bee. Role: the queen's primary role is to reproduce. She is the mother of almost every bee in the colony. Characteristics: the queen is larger than the other bees in the colony and has a longer abdomen. She is the only female bee in the colony with fully developed ovaries. Function: after mating with drones during her nuptial flights early in life, the queen stores the sperm in a special organ and uses it to fertilize eggs throughout her life. She can lay thousands of eggs in a single day during peak seasons. The queen also secretes pheromones that help regulate the behavior of the colony, including suppressing the development of ovaries in worker bees and influencing the colony's cohesion and function. Drones. Role: drones are the male bees of the colony, and their sole purpose is to mate with a virgin queen. Characteristics: they are larger than worker bees but smaller than the queen, with larger eyes that help them spot queens during flight. Function: drones do not collect nectar or pollen, and they do not participate in hive maintenance. After mating, a drone dies, because the act of mating results in his endophilus being ripped from his body. In preparation for winter or during times of scarcity, drones are often expelled from the hive to conserve resources, as they are no longer necessary for the colony's immediate survival. Worker bees. Role: worker bees are female, but have undeveloped ovaries and do not reproduce, with rare exceptions. They perform all the other tasks needed to maintain and protect the colony. Characteristics: workers are smaller than both the queen and drones. They have specialized structures, such as pollen baskets on their hind legs, and glands that produce beeswax. Function: their responsibilities include foraging for nectar and pollen, producing honey, feeding the queen and larvae, cleaning and expanding the hive, regulating the temperature of the hive, and defending the colony. Worker bees also communicate with each other about the locations of food sources through dances. The roles of worker bees change as they age, typically moving from tasks within the hive to more risky outside work as they grow older. This division of labor within the bee society ensures the efficient functioning and sustainability of the colony, showcasing an extraordinary level of cooperation and social organization among these insects. The process of pollination by bees is a fascinating and vital ecological service that supports biodiversity and food production. Pollination occurs when pollen grains are transferred from the male part of a flower, anther, to the female part, stigma, of the same species, leading to fertilization and, subsequently, the production of seeds and fruit. Bees are among the most efficient pollinators, and here's how they do it. Foraging for nectar and pollen. Bees visit flowers, primarily to collect nectar, which is a source of energy, and pollen, which provides proteins and fats. While moving from flower to flower, they are designed for pollination, often without even intending to. Pollen transfer. As bees collect nectar and pollen, the pollen grains stick to their hairy bodies. Bees have specialized structures, like branched or feathery hairs, to which pollen adheres. Some species, like the honeybee, also have pollen baskets, corbiculae, on their hind legs where they pack pollen to carry back to the hive. Visiting another flower. When the bee visits another flower of the same species, some of the pollen grains on its body brush off onto the stigma of this new flower, resulting in cross-pollination. This transfer of pollen is crucial for the genetic diversity and health of plant populations. Flower adaptations. Flowers have evolved various adaptations to attract bees, including bright colors, enticing scents, and nectar guides that direct bees to the nectar, ensuring they come into contact with the reproductive parts of the flower. Some flowers have even evolved to specifically accommodate the body size or shape of certain bee species, ensuring that these bees are the primary pollinators for them. Bee behavior and efficiency. Bees are considered super pollinators for several reasons. They typically focus on one species of flower at a time, a behavior known as flower constancy, which significantly increases the chances of successful pollination because the pollen they carry is more likely to be from the same species of flower. Moreover, social bees like honeybees and bumblebees communicate with their hive mates about the locations of food sources, leading to efficient exploitation of flower patches. Impact on ecosystems and agriculture. The pollination process facilitated by bees is crucial for the reproduction of many wild plants, contributing to healthy and diverse ecosystems. In agriculture, bees enhance the yield and quality of crops like fruits, vegetables, and nuts, making them indispensable partners in food production. The mutualistic relationship between bees and flowers is a prime example of coevolution, where both parties have evolved traits that benefit each other. Protecting bee populations and their habitats is essential for preserving this critical ecological function and, by extension, the health of our planet and food security for humans. Bees are fascinating creatures, crucial to our ecosystem through their pollination efforts, which are essential for the reproduction of many flowering plants. This pollination process indirectly supports a large portion of the food we consume, particularly fruits and vegetables. There are over 20,000 known species of bees, classified into 7 to 9 families, with the most well-known being the European honeybee, Apis mellifera. Honeybees are particularly famous for producing honey from the nectar of flowers, but their role in pollination is by far their most impactful contribution to our environment and agriculture. Bees are social insects, with complex societies led by queens, and consist mostly of female workers along with male drones in their hives. However, not all bees are social. Many species are solitary, focusing solely on their reproductive and survival needs without the complex social structures of honeybees and bumblebees. The decline in bee populations globally has raised significant concern in recent years. This decline is attributed to a combination of factors including pesticide use, habitat destruction, climate change, and the spread of pests and diseases. The loss of bees could have dramatic effects on plant life, including the crops humans rely on for food, highlighting the importance of conservation efforts to protect these vital pollinators. Bees communicate with each other through a series of dances, the most famous being the waggle dance, which indicates the direction and distance of food sources from the hive. Their ability to learn, remember locations, and even recognize faces showcases the complexity of their behavior and intelligence. In addition to their ecological role, products derived from bees, such as honey, beeswax, royal jelly, and propolis, have been used by humans for food, medicine, and manufacturing for thousands of years. Protecting bees and ensuring their survival is not just about saving a single species, but about maintaining biodiversity, ecological balance, and the sustenance of human agricultural practices. Bees exhibit incredible adaptability to various habitats, including some that might seem unconventional or unexpected. In their natural settings, away from the managed environments of agricultural or hobbyist beekeeping, bees often establish their colonies in locations that offer protection, controlled climate conditions, and proximity to food sources. Here's a closer look at the diverse habitats bees might choose. Mountains. High-altitude environments, including mountainous regions, can host bee populations. Bees living in these areas are often well adapted to cooler temperatures and may have different foraging and nesting behaviors compared to their lowland counterparts. The availability of diverse plant species that bloom at different times of the year can provide a continuous food source for bees in these regions. However, the harsh conditions and limited foraging seasons at very high altitudes can challenge their survival and productivity. Trees and forests. Cavities in trees are among the most natural nesting sites for bees, particularly for species like the honeybee. These cavities offer protection from the elements and predators, and the height can provide a temperature advantage. Forests offer a rich biodiversity of flowering plants, ensuring a steady supply of nectar and pollen. Old, hollow trees are particularly valuable for bees, as the space and wood insulation offer an ideal environment for the colony's development. Roofs of old wooden houses. Bees, especially in rural or semi-rural areas, may find the undersides of roofs or spaces in walls of old wooden houses to be suitable for establishing a colony. These spaces often mimic the cavity-like environment bees naturally seek, such as tree hollows. Wooden structures can provide adequate shelter and a relatively controlled climate. However, bee colonies in these locations can pose challenges for homeowners due to the potential for damage or the need for bee removal for safety reasons. The choice of habitat reflects the bees' remarkable adaptability and their unceasing search for environments that can support their complex social structures, breeding, and food-gathering activities. While these habitats highlight the bees' ability to thrive in diverse conditions, they also underscore the importance of preserving natural habitats and considering the impact of human activities on bee populations. Conservation efforts can support bees by protecting forests, minimizing pesticide use, and encouraging the planting of native, bee-friendly plants in gardens and landscapes.